happier if that don't worry came from the players than the regulator, because the regulator can only call a meeting and basically take information from what the players are doing. I think there's no consensus yet in terms of fuel security. You know, when there is this war in the areas where most of our hydrocarbon comes from, the concern is in two folds: fuel security and then prices. Let's deal with fuel security. Because we import most of our products, even Centio, who refines locally, still imports the crude oil. So both the refined and the non-refined are imported. The most important thing we have to look at is the crude oil prices going up, and is that affecting the Plat, which is how we price the refined products, the petrol and the diesel and all the rest that we buy. Yes, it would affect it. So now prices were around maybe $59 per barrel. As at yesterday, it's gotten to $91 per barrel. So we are going to see a big jump in the Plat prices, the refined prices coming in the FOB in the coming window. That would basically come and hit the pockets of the average Ghanaian. So that, in terms of the war, would do affect prices, and from a $30 jump in the crude oil prices, is going to have a huge effect on the refined products. Then you go to the next conversation of the security, the fuel security. Now, prices is mainly due to demand and supply. Yeah. Now, if refineries who get supply of crude, everybody is getting their crude, then it's fine. There will be enough supply of products on the market. But we know that since the Strait of Hormuz, that controls 20% of the world crude oil coming out of the Gulf area, is closed. A lot of refineries are also not going to get constant supply of crude. So it means that there's going to be less refined products on the market. What that means is that there's going to be shortage, and when demand now outstrips supply, that is also going to create another high prices for the refined products. So the crude oil price going up is going to affect the refined products. Then the scarcity of that product, which is the fuel security of not having the refineries, not having the crude oil, is also going to create less refined products on the market. So there's going to be a two-pronged approach. We are not only tracking the crude oil price affecting the Plat, the refined products, we're also tracking the scarcity of that product in the world market to also affect the price. So it is a double whammy. It is a concern, which is going to basically go a long way to hurt our economy. Because you look at the successes that have been chalked in the system. Our brothers in NDC talks about low dollar, low fuel price and all that, right? And the Ghanaian were not given enough in terms of only 12% increase in wages negotiation. So if we look at fuel prices in the next 3 months going up exponentially, it is going to affect the Ghanaian pocket. And it is going to also affect the inflation that everybody talks about.
So you expect an increase?
No, it's natural. We forget, as I'm saying, the two effects is constant. Yeah. One is the lack of the product on the market is going to create high prices for the product because it's going to be scarce. Then the high price of the crude oil, because what we sell in the market, okay, so this is how prices are priced. You don't price them how you bought it. You price it at the cost of which you will replace it. I hope you understand. Yeah. So if I have this bottle, right, I price it, if I'm to sell this, how much would it cost me to replace it? Yeah. That is how much I'll sell this product for. I don't sell it at the price at which I bought it. So if I sell it and I can't replace it, then it becomes a problem. So the prices in the pump in the coming window, the next window is 16, right? In the next window, you see a big jump because everybody is now going to price the next window at the price at which we are going to now replace in the next 2 weeks. And this war has just started, right? We are being told it's going to go for months. So even if it stops today, the ramification is still going to exist. So in terms of expecting higher prices, that one, we check the box. Yes, we are going to get higher prices. But in terms of fuel security, which is what we talked about, MPA saying that they have enough in the tank. For me, they can only forecast within the next 5 weeks, as they've said, right? After 5 weeks, then what next? Because the the products we get into the country, when it's available on the market, then you get some.
Yeah.
But if there's shortage on the market, then how are you going to get? So then we need to now quickly start talking to maybe Dangote, who is our neighbor, to now look at how best we can look at fuel security within the Gulf, the West African region, and get products from Dangote.
Yeah.
But if we are relying on the normal importers that we have, there might be a shortage of products on the world market coming out of Europe and the Asias, and that might affect us.
Right.
So that will be a problem. But the other thing that we should also keep our eyes on is the issue of value chain. You know, fuel is energy, and it is the fundamental cost for production of everything. So not only are we should be looking at the fuel cost, which is the base of, is the input cost for a lot of industries. So if you're looking at fuel prices going up, the other conversation is the value chain also going up. So cost of food, cost of products, cost of manufacturing, all those things are also going to go up. So in one part, we consume the products in its raw form.
Yeah.
But in the other form, it's also an input product, which goes into industries. And if fuel goes up, if the hydrocarbons goes up, then the gas and all the derivatives also go up.
Yeah.
So industry, who is also manufacturing and using those derivatives, also their prices will go up. So there's a cascaded effect of cost rising. So we should expect it.
Okay.